For our last PCN story of the season, we decided to do something a little different, tell you the story of us here at PCN and PCN Life. It has always been an honor telling the stories of our communities, and here's a look at how we get it done.
In a perfect world, this could have been us, the team from PCN and PCN Life all together on a whale watch. But New England weather can be a fickle friend and formidable foe, particularly when it comes to being out on the high seas. In order to get to know the gang, we'd have to find them in their natural habitat. Since July of 2008, that habitat has been located at Fort Collins Ave in North Plymouth.
It wasn't until 2013 that PACTV started its own news program for the community known as PCN. 2016 saw the start of its offshoot, PCN Life. And for our last episode of Life, as we head into summer break, we thought we'd give our viewers a behind-the-scenes look and meet some of the people who make both shows possible.
The news set in our studio may be recognizable to many at home, but the process to make the program starts back here. The plotting and planning is done by News Director Maureen Boyle and Assistant News Director Walter Cicchetti. Rumor has it, this guy here shows up to the office every once in a while, but there's no hard evidence to back that up. But if anybody is looking for me, they can find me out sampling the trails here in our 4 towns. Or here in Rochester, Massachusetts, finding out where all of our garbage ends up and what happens to it once it gets to the CMAS Trash-to-Energy facility. Or here, flying to breakfast in this antique twin engine with one of the best pilots in the entire state. Meanwhile, back here on Earth, this show must go on, and for both programs, that starts and ends with Maureen Boyle. When she's not juggling 50 flaming chainsaws trying to keep the shows organized, she can be seen behind the anchor's desk. After joining the team in the winter of 2014 as Maureen Bates and as a part-time writer, she finished 2017 with not only a new last name, but a new title, News Director. She also had a hand in creating the PCN Life program.
PCN Life evolved out of a couple of experimental programs. We did a show, PCN In Depth, a while back, and it was investigative journalism, but it was very taxing on our resources as a news department. So we wanted to make it a little bit lighter, and we also wanted to really boost our production value and just to really show the artistic communities and music communities and food communities, but also with a higher production level. So we had, for example, we had local eats on PCN, and that was the type of production value I wanted to bring to PCN Life, but for all of the pieces.
The newest kid on the block is Assistant News Director Walter Cicchetti, but in age and hire date only. He was volunteering at PACTV long before any of us had started working here. On the day of the shows, Walter is there to make sure that everything is where it needs to be. Cameras, teleprompters, the control room, guests, and sometimes just getting himself ready to be on the news desk. Walt still has the most fun when he's out there getting the story.
Going out in the field, I guess the best part is meeting people and getting to help tell their story and finding out what their passions are, what they're interested in, and kind of finding out the truth in what they're doing.
Julie Thompson joined the PCN team around the same time as the show's inception and has conducted nearly as many in-studio interviews as I've done from the field. While Julie makes every interview look easy, it turns out there's a method.
Anytime I know I'm going to interview anybody on set, I usually have about a month's notice and sometimes a little bit less. So I'll find out who they are, what they're doing, what their objective is, what the objective of my interview is going to be. And then I will find out as much research as I can on that person. If it's an author, I will read their book. If it's someone that has a specialty, I will Google and find out as much as I can about their specialty. And then I do pre-interviews with them over the phone so that we're being really smart about the time that we have with them on set. And we're getting across the message that they want to get across, as well as getting the message across to the audience. And sometimes it's really hard to remember that people don't know anything sometimes. So you have to kind of set the stage of why are we talking to this person, what is their objective? And that's I think that what people don't understand about interviewing. Anybody can really interview anybody, but at the end of the interview, does the audience get what they needed to get out of it, and was it effective? That's what makes a good interview.
Of course, neither show gets off the ground without Kim Mio. The erstwhile news director is now the director of community media for PACTV. But she was there when it all started. In fact, it was Kim Mio that started it, and we followed her lead in carrying out her vision.
Through PCN, I feel like we've really been able to showcase the community, and I love it because what I kind of tell people when I go out is this is a story that you would never see on broadcast television. There's just no way. They won't ever give it the time. They won't give it the attention and the depth that we can tell a story. So that's something I'm really proud of. These pieces that we have, we don't have the time constraints. They could be a minute, they could be 5 minutes. You know, again, with Life, we have longer segments that can be like 10, 12 minutes. And we've won awards, and it's really impactful to me to be able to tell stories that will never be told. And it's almost like an archiving for the community.
Here's to hoping we've delivered on that promise. From all of us at PCN and PCN Life, I'm Brian Sullivan, reporting from PACTV headquarters.